Hello, it's Michael Salcman with today's two poems. They're going to be on the subject of art and beauty. It may surprise you to learn that beauty was not the prime consideration in art for 2,000 years, until the Italian Renaissance, when the beauty of Greek statues and Roman mosaics was rediscovered. Aristotle believed visual art should be judged according to mimesis or mimesis, making art lifelike or true to nature, a skill that was partially lost prior to the Renaissance. Indeed, the term aesthetics for the study or philosophy of beauty in art was not invented until 1735 by the German philosopher Alexander Baumgarten, and reached its first culmination towards the end of the 18th century in the work of Immanuel Kant, the great philosopher of the Enlightenment. Kant believed that the human mind had a specific faculty for aesthetics, just as it did for rational and moral thinking. Today, art is often judged by criteria other than beauty. It can be ugly and disturbing, like Picasso's powerful painting Guernica about the Spanish Civil War, simple and elegant like an abstract by Mondrian, or almost invisible and spiritual like the paintings in the Rothko Chapel. Greek sculptures that are armless and headless and otherwise damaged by time retain their beauty, often with a nostalgic sense of our own mortality. And time brings injuries to old master paintings, like those by Rembrandt, which we ardently repair or rescue because they remain beautiful. The first poem is called In Painting, which is the process that a conservator uses to add paint in between the still existing brushstrokes of an old master. Time has sandpapered this nose too much. It needs repair. A thin skin of burnt sienna and turpentine will do to recapture the murk and shine of Rembrandtian dark, that physical mark of a simile put there by mirror neurons firing in the artist's brain. Whatever we call such cellular activity, self-love or empathy, Rembrandt had it in spades, and we have enough to think we see a face painted by him as real as yours or mine. This is why a conservator bends at his bench, working for hours, like an infant smiling or a bird staring into a mirror, hoping to save each imperfection in a perfect way. Beauty must have its flaw. He leaves behind a few bristles trapped in paint. And here's today's second poem, The Cult of Beauty. We came ashore at the end of a narrow strait, watching tourists stroll the stony paths of an outdoor museum, where 30,000 souls once worshipped and played, coming together in trade, or else the Delian games. I sweat a drop or two into the sea. It's noon in beauty's hell, and emptiness everywhere. No one born on Delos was less than a god, so gravid women were taken off before making a mess. Even the dead and dying weren't left, but removed to graves offshore before death might spoil Apollo's perfect realm with putrefaction. Only his acolytes dwelled on what they called the brightest spot on earth, an island like a lens, where nothing lives today but the past, its columns and houses in perfect rows, and 5 stone lions who guard the sacred lake in which Apollo rose and his sister's temple sank without a trace. A single column marks her place, like a bone her brother threw away.